Hi everyone. Welcome to a different kind of Betters live at 5 on Tuesdays. And so excited to be talking to you today. You can see that I am wearing my autism awareness sweater. So please, for those of you who didn't see us last week, know that we are wearing this sweater. It is being made by my grandson who is autistic to bring awareness, and a proceed of the funds goes towards helping that charity. You can reach them by looking into the Facebook page at DIBA, capital D-I-B-A, fashions, and message Saren, and she'll be able to help you if you'd like to support us in raising funds for that drive that's being held in Toronto, I believe on October the 18th. So I'll be wearing this till October the 18th to try and raise awareness and support. So welcome and thank you so much for joining in today. Today we're talking about an exciting new topic. You've probably been hearing a lot about it lately and been seeing posts or getting messages from people about frequency therapies. And so I thought I would come on today and talk a little bit about this. So I have notes today, so I'm going to be looking down a little bit because, I want to sort of cover a little bit of the history of it as well, and so that we have a better understanding of what it's all about. And so let's get started. But first of all, I do have to read a little bit of a disclaimer. So this presentation may contain general information about various medical conditions and their treatment. Such information is provided for informational purposes only and is not meant to be a substitute for advice provided by your physician or other qualified healthcare professional. The information contained herein should not be used to diagnose a health or a fitness problem or a disease. You should always consult with your physician for medical advice, diagnosis, and treatment before beginning any type of natural, integrative, or conventional treatment regime. It is always advisable to seek the advice of a licensed healthcare professional. So thank you for being patient and letting me read that. That's just to protect us and to also protect you at the same time. So let's get started. So Tesla once said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And to be honest, I have been looking into this for many years and have been I've been privy to have experienced some of these therapies over the past, I would say at least 20 years. So it's been around for quite a while. So if you want to watch something really informative, there is a talk on YouTube. You can find it. It's by David Tong, T-O-N-G, and he is a professor of theoretical physics at Cambridge University. And, it's very scientific and it is long, but it's very informative and will give you a better understanding of where all this has derived from. And so basically what his talk is about is, what are we made of? And according to our best theory of physics, the fundamental building blocks of matter are not particles, but continuous fluid-like substances that are called fields. And in what you're hearing a lot about lately, I know that for me, for example, we're using a lot of what is called digital information field analysis. And so that is where this name is derived from, I'm assuming. So I'm excited to be talking about it today. So let's take a look at frequency therapies. So a lot of it is very much based on science, right? So a lot of research has been done in this area, and it's been done for many, many years. In fact, I think the first frequency machine that I can see dates back to the early 1800s. And it was a physician, I believe, that was using frequencies or microcurrents. I'm not sure if they had those at that time, but he was using that machine to help him heal fractures. So we're talking, many, many, many years ago. So it has developed and advanced considerably since then. So for your information, I'm going to talk about certain things that we create in our body and things that you are more familiar with. So if we look at our brain sends out messages, right? And they use electricity and create different states of consciousness. So you're going to be familiar with these. One of them is an alpha wave. So if they have measured alpha waves, and they range at basically 8 to 12 hertz. An alpha wave basically means that you're awake, but you're in a relaxed state. Beta waves, however, measure at 12 to 27 hertz, and that is your normal conscious state. And that's actually what we are in most of the time, most of the day. And then delta waves are 0.2 to 3 hertz, and that is deep sleep. And when you're in that phase, that's when you release hormones that are used for healing, and they're also very important for boosting your immune system. So here we talk about and realize that sleep is more important than you think. It's not just about feeling rested in the morning. It's also about repairing during your sleep as well. So if you're, subject to be one of those people that don't sleep well, you really need to work at getting some help in that area and see if you can deal with that. Gamma waves are 27 plus hertz, and they are related more to people that are open-minded, intuitive, that kind of thing. So why am I telling you these, and why am I using these as an example? Because what I'm trying to show you is that everything in life has a frequency, right? And what's exciting is that we can now measure those frequencies. We have developed the tools to be able to do that. And that's exciting because that means that we have the technology to advance even further in this field. So what we need to realize that even in nothing, there is something. And what do I mean by that? I mean that even though you can't see it, it doesn't mean that there's nothing there. I remember an experiment, and I think actually David Tong talks about it, where he takes two batteries and he's pointing them together, but they're not actually touching. But if you look at the gap in between, basically it looks like there's nothing there, but there is something there. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it's not there. And this is where a lot of people are skeptical about frequency therapy, because they can't see it and they can't feel it because the currents are low, right? They use very low frequencies. So most of the time, people can't feel it. Now, some people do say they can feel it. I've seen people, that are sending out a frequency, for example, and have asked people if they can feel it. And they're in a different place. And so that person doesn't know when they're sending it. And when they look at the time that they say they can feel it, it is actually the time that the frequency was going out. So that's kind of exciting that, there's proof there that that has happened. So what is a frequency? It is actually the rate at which vibration occurs that constitutes a wave. So as an example of that would be a sound wave or an electromagnetic field. And the most common unit of frequency is known as a hertz. And 1 hertz equals a frequency of 1 cycle per second, just so that you understand, right? So as I said, all things in life have a frequency. And by that, I mean, when we're talking about us and we're talking about the body, I'm talking about tissues, cells, organs, viruses, bacteria, allergies, that type of thing. And we have actually been able to measure those frequencies and know what they are and know which frequencies are considered the mean average for optimal your normal balance. I'm going to use the word balance during this talk. Okay. So life is electrons in motion. That's basically what they are. And we can now look at different forms of electrons in the body. So when you have electric potential and the balance in the body, you provide yourself the ability to build and regenerate cells. So if you don't have it, you do not have that ability to reproduce healthy cells. And you can basically eat all the good foods, take all the best supplements, but if you don't have the ability to recreate those healthy cells, they're just not going to do anything for you. So when I look at this, being able to analyze, the vibration or the frequency of your body or your organs, I think it's extremely important to be able to know how to do that and have the ability to be able to do it. So if you can't make the energy, you do not have the correct voltage. That's really what it means. Okay. So the role of the voltage in the body is that our cells need the energy. And if we don't have the correct voltage, then chronic disease will set in. So really, if you have low voltage, you have the ability for dis-ease to start affecting you physically. So it occurs when you lose the ability to make a new cell that works. So the talk that I listened to recently, he repeated that. He said, the chronic disease occurs when you lose the ability to make a new cell that actually works. And that makes total sense to me, and I hope it does to you too. So what happens if our cell voltage drops? We actually lose oxygen in the cell. And this allows chaos to happen in the body. So I want you to think about something. We have approximately 1 billion bugs in our body, different bacteria, different things, bugs. 1 trillion, sorry, not billion, 1 trillion bugs in our body. And bugs are suppressed by oxygen. So if we have low oxygen levels, then they wake up, they get hungry, they then produce enzymes that dissolve our cells so that they can get the nutrients out of it. So they get the nutrients and we don't. Right. And that's another reason why we can be taking all the best things in the world. But if we're not looking after this, they're going to the wrong thing. We're not getting them. Right. And once that happens, you start getting symptoms. And those are symptoms like inflammation, headaches, sore joints, could be high fevers if it's bacteria, things like that. And then also those bugs also put toxins, which can't be seen by regular microscopes, by the way. They have to be seen by really, really high power microscopes. And that's the reason why a lot of the times we can't get rid of them. Right? Because we can't see them to know what they are in order to be able to help get rid of them. So what can we do about this? So one thing we can do is learn about frequency therapy, right? And, energy medicine has been around for a long time, and examples of that would be acupuncture, acupressure, Reiki, and there's a lot more, by the way. But frequency using a machine that puts out frequencies has been around for a while, but it's really, really gaining headway lately, and people are becoming more interested in it. So frequency is the language that all life understands at a cellular level. And I, for one, have always been somebody that believes that you need to get to things at a cellular level in order to have the best effect, right? So our body functions through sending and receiving specific frequencies. And those frequencies modulate cellular function, and that helps us restore or maintain health. So interestingly, I have a Pubmed article to read to you. And the Pubmed ID number, for those of you who would like to take a look at it, is 233-23834. And this is dated January the 16th, 2013. And it says bioelectromagnetic medicine, the role of resonance signaling. And I'm just going to take some time to read this to you. So it says, only recently has the critical importance of electromagnetic field interactions in biology and medicine been recognized. We review the phenomenon of resonance signaling, discussing how specific frequencies modulate cellular function to restore or maintain health. The application of EM-tuned signals represents more than merely a new tool in information medicine. It can also be viewed in the larger context of EM medicine, the all-encompassing view that elevates the EM over the biochemical. The discovery by Zayden that ultra-small magnetic intensities are biologically significant suggests that EM signaling is endogenous to cell regulation, and consequently that the remarkable effectiveness of EM resonance treatments reflects a fundamental aspect of biological systems. The concept that organisms contain mechanisms for generating biologically useful electric signals is not new, dating back to the 19th century discovery of currents of injury by Matteucci. The corresponding modern day version is that ion cyclotron resonance magnetic field combinations help regulate biological information. The next advance in medicine will be to discern and apply those EM signaling parameters acting to promote wellness with decreasing reliance on marginal biochemical remediation of pharmaceuticals. So it's just another example how we're looking at electromagnetic fields, right? So there's new technologies available to us, and they use individually determined frequencies to stimulate specific areas in our body. And the equipment has the capacity to recognize the influences that affect us, and then it also is able to balance them. So science has proven that everything in life has a frequency, including your body. It's been proven. So you can go do the research, but it's already there and being done. So health imbalances have complex causes. So psychological, viral, bacterial, genetic, as well as work-related or family influences. There was a German physicist, Burkhard Heim, who recognized that this field doesn't consist of forces or energy potential, but patterns of information. So he characterized this as the information field. So you're going to be hearing this term a little bit. Either digital information fields or information fields. His model states that it does not only connect body and mind, but directs all physiological processes. This leads to a whole new view of the living process as we know it. That really excites me that we're finally advancing enough to actually recognize this and do something with it. So the aim is to identify the deeper cause of the disorders of the information field and then balance them. So wow. And if these causes are eliminated, then energetic blockages will disappear. And you would not believe what an energetic blockage can do. And I know all you Reiki practitioners out there are very familiar with this, and that's what you do. I have a friend out in Australia. She's an emotion code practitioner, and she works on removing emotional blockages that will affect the energy fields. So equipment is being made that uses frequencies to balance imbalances in your body. So first, it's capable of analyzing it, and then it's capable also of doing the balancing. And up to date, this equipment was extremely expensive. I know, I'm familiar with it. But now there are talks of in Canada of launching a new product that is designed so you can have a small unit that can actually send out frequencies to you, recognize your imbalances, and then balance yourself at home. How exciting is that? And this webinar or broadcast or Facebook Live is not to give out names of companies that are doing. We're not here to market it. We're here to teach you so that if you are approached, that you have some information in your hands and have a better understanding of what it is that they are approaching you about, because this is exciting. What this is going to allow you to do is take empower yourself with your own healthcare, right? It's going to allow you to see things on the horizon. Now, this isn't to take away from physicians. Like if you're, if you have something chronic, you definitely need to, remember that you have a physician there for a very specific reason. But if you're dealing with inflammations and some pain that I know that right now to get into a pain clinic, for example, to get help the waiting list is about 1.5 to 2 years long. And what are you supposed to do in the meantime? Are you supposed to take pain medications for 2 years and become addicted to them? That's not something I recommend. You should look at all the tools available to you and maybe look at those as an alternative choice, right? Do something good for the body while you're waiting, right? And maybe, who knows, maybe you won't even need that, right? That would be awesome. So why do I feel that you need to take a look at these things? Because I know that organs all resonate at a different frequency. They've researched it, they've done it, they know what the liver, a normal liver resonates at, they know what a normal kidney resonates at. All those frequencies are there. They know the frequencies of certain types of foods. They know the frequencies of bacteria. They know the frequencies of viruses. So why not utilize all this new technology, these new advancements that could possibly help you in the meantime? So the equipment is able to measure all of these frequencies in the body and can perform what we call a cause-oriented analysis of the information field. So it can tell which organs are overregulated and which are underregulated. It is not a diagnostic machine. It is not going to give you a diagnosis. That's what doctors do, okay? But it can tell you whether they're functioning optimally, whether they're balanced correctly, and if they aren't, they can help balance them for you. So what kinds of equipments are there? So we're looking at digital computers that have years of data taken from years of research. Of course, hopefully the new launch of portable personal devices. What they can do, they, as I said, measure the resonance of the human body. They balance the imbalances. Some of them can actually measure chakras. They can look at meridians, for example, and know if they are imbalanced. And they can pick up on stress that is affecting you and also help balance those as well. So what I guess we need to say is, if we could eliminate certain outside frequencies that are interfering with your bodies, we would probably be able to have greater resistance to disease. And actually, Nikola Tesla is somebody that said that. He said, if we could eliminate certain outside frequencies that interfere with our bodies, we would have greater resistance to disease. So pollutants lower our body frequencies. So they steal our energy. Right? So the more that we're exposed to, the lower our energy, the lower we vibrate at, okay? And bacteria and viruses have their own low frequency that also influence our energy fields. But then there are also different frequencies that are believed to help restore balance in your body. And as I said, a lot of research is looking into that now. So here is something I want to say to you. Think of your body as a battery, right? You are born basically, hopefully, if if your mom looked after herself well, you were born with a full battery, with what we call a full charge. And then during your lifetime, we're exposed to emotional stressors. We're exposed to, different pollutants through our work environment. Sometimes we're exposed to radiation through different things, our computers, our TVs, our Wi-Fi's, all those kinds of things. We start draining our battery, right? Even decaying teeth create energy blocks. So make sure you get your teeth fixed, right? Once your battery is drained, what do you do? Like if it's a battery, you just go out and get a new battery, but we can't do that, right? We don't want to get it to that point. We want to avoid that. So we want to keep ourselves resonating at the right frequencies. And there are things that you can do to that. Water is an important one, right? Exercise is also important because once you move the muscles, muscles create energy, right? And we need to keep ourselves vibrating at a higher frequency in order to, maintain health. So Don't let your battery drain. And that's really difficult in today's day and age, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now, today, right? All the superbugs we're being exposed to, that also creates stress. You know, relationships create stress, jobs create stress. These are things we can't get rid of. However, we can send ourselves frequency that could possibly balance those things and help us maintain that health a little bit better than we're able to do on our own, right? So that's basically it that I wanted to get across to you today, that sometimes we are so skeptical that we don't allow ourselves to be open-minded enough to actually look at things that are new. You know, we love our docs, and I love Doc Tom. We all love Doc Tom. He brings so much to the table, and he's a medical doctor, but he also believes that there's a lot more to our cells that can be done, and that's why we have I believe alternative natural practitioners, people who practice Chinese medicine, Reiki practitioners, all you out there, you wonderful people that are doing alternative modalities that can help people in a different way, because that's what this platform is all about, right? It's all about a different kind of better. It's about coming together, realizing that medicine and alternative therapies can work together and can augment each other. That's my personal belief, and it's the personal belief of many other natural healthcare practitioners. And I think we're starting to also see that in some of the medical doctors now. I'm starting to see that they're more acceptant of knowing that alternative practitioners have some things that they can bring to the table that the medical doctors don't have. And we talk about this a lot. So I'm going to end this with, please keep in mind that A Different Kind of Better is a platform for wellness practitioners that want to educate the world. We would love you to go take a look at our platform at differentkindofbetter.com and see if you can help us educate the world. You can do talks like this on this platform and get your message out globally. You can have more visibility as a practitioner. We have what we call our IT guru, who is Karen Ansel McKinnon, and she runs a platform called Speak Up and Empower. And everything that we do on here also goes across onto that platform. And she is an SEO optimization specialist. So if you think you have something, and this is about helping the world, helping people heal, helping people get better, we would love to have you on that platform. You can be part of this. It's a membership-based platform for $20 per year and up. If you want to be an expert panelist, then it's a little bit more expensive. But just go onto the website, click the Join Now button, and take a look at what we have to offer and be part of our movement to teach the world some different things that can help them. If you have any questions about today's topic, or you would like to know where you can find a local practitioner that practices this kind of modality, please reach out to us, and we'll do our best to make sure that you're able to find that person that will resonate with you and help you on your journey to health. We want to thank you for tuning in today to listen to this, and we hope to see you next Tuesday. We have a really good guest speaker coming. I'll be posting that shortly with all the information, and we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Please let your friends know to tune in on Tuesdays to Live at 5 on A Different Kind of Better. Take care, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.